here. Crowley's done a pretty good job so far.
Okay, we're all set here to get a result in the Derby. Cox wins it down, got hold of it, Griffin, and just banged it 50 bound. Schofield dropped the mark he really should have taken in the end. It was just a stock standard chesty.
It came out, bounced back into him. Thanks, mate.
Good clearance from Griffin, and just there's the he'd done all the hard work to get back hard, but just didn't execute the mark well.
Hill in amongst it there. Griffin doing some hard work. Here's Ballantyne. Haven't seen a lot of him. Magnificent kick, straightening goal. Just the start the Dockers needed.
Well, superstar, you're right, PT. Made the most of the opportunities because Schofield drops that mark, creates a contest, and then Fremantle score on the other side of it. Had a chance to pick the ball up there. Schofield tried to kick it off the ground, and a great finish by Ballantyne. And they're the ones leading disposal so far. West Coast haven't touched the ball in the first minute and a half of this third quarter.
Oh boy, Hayden Ballantyne. The little spark here. Fremantle by 5 points.
Great work from Jonathan Griffin in the centre of the ground, up against the two big men, and he's got the clearance and set up a goal.
Cox, beautiful knock to Shuey. Magical clearance here for West Coast. They go inside 50. Here comes Lacroix. Out wide is Embley. Mazungu with a nice tackle. Nikoski almost playing the free kick. Now Ibbotson finds the target in Grover. A foot around the ball. Griffin did well to hold the front position. Shuey just went and got the ball though. He goes back inside 50 with a high ball. Kennedy's got a good jump here. He elevates. Third man up was McFarlane. Out the back door. Lacroix didn't get enough on it. Got to go. Lovely mark taken by Barlow.
That was well done from Barlow. Fixed his eyes on the ball and just went really hard and took a great mark. Oh, that could be a way. Needed a quick exit to get to Zach Clark, just too slow. It was a Griffin.
Now Broughton. Now look at Barlow running down the middle. Just past him there, you can see. Couldn't get it to him, but everything else is basically stagnant at the moment. So that's nearly out of bounds on the full.
Well, that was horrible from Fremantle to come out. They had the opportunity to go quickly to Griffin. Even on that last exit, that last kick, they could have, if they ran the ball 10 metres from the stoppage, they could have kicked it to Griffin again.
Jacko, any chance of rain in this second half, do you think?
Well, it's been threatening. It was a little bit towards the end of that second quarter. A lot of clouds around, boys, so I won't exclude it.
There's Fife. It's been in really good touch for the Fremantle Dockers. Still to yet put their best side on the deck, the Fremantle Dockers. Fife goes down the line, trying to build towards the second part of this year, but this game is important for the Dockers from the point of view to stay in touch with the top four. I think with West Coast being ahead by 1 win over the Dockers, they are still very much in touch. But I'd say if the Dockers lose this, they probably can't get top four, I would have thought.
No, make it very difficult, and I think that more to the point, they just want to win this game against their arch enemy in the West Coast Eagles, and the top four is going to look after itself, but this is a big game for them. Very important contest.
West Coast have a pretty good run home. 4 of their last 6 games at home. They play the bottom sides away in the Dogs, Melbourne and Brisbane. So they've got a really nicely set up home run, the West Coast.
They haven't. When you look at the top four, West Coast go to 46 points. That's why it's so important for West Coast to win this, to keep in touch with the Blues, who sit in 4th spot.
Nick Nat trying to get third man up. Barlow was holding him off the ball. Okay.
No one knows.
Nick Nat knew his kick here. The boy that says he has family first tattooed on his chest. Gives it off to Hearn. Hearn a long ball forward looking for Lynch. Couldn't quite glove it. Plenty of advice coming from the crowd for Q. And this is the free. going for Natanui, saying that Barlow was holding him off the ball. I mentioned he wouldn't allow him to run and jump. Gee, that's tough.
Gee,
Very tough.
He's actually, he might be a small ruckman, but he elected to be the ruckman in that situation.
And
Barlow.
the object is to try and get between the ball and your man and try and, you know, allow yourself first use of the ball. Gee, that's not a football decision, I wouldn't have thought.
It wasn't one of their best. Glass again, very good. He's just always close. Here's the Barlow, Natanui.
That is tough, and they're waiting for a ruck contest to happen. I mean, that's just holding your ground to be in the spot where you think the ball's going to be knocked.
I think the interpretation was that Griffin was around the area as well, and Barlow was blocking Natanui from having a ruck contest with Griffin. I think it's a hard one, very difficult one, but
Can't have 3 nominated ruckmen at the contest, though. In the end, the umpire's got to say, well, you're not the ruckman, so...
Well, don't want to go on about it too long, but what if Barlow actually decided he was the ruckman?
Yeah.
Natanui and Cox do it.
Zungu here at half-back. Down the line. High ball up over the top. Went Griffin, couldn't hold the mark. Out the back door now, McKenzie just kept rolling. Here's Barlow. Didn't panic by going to the ball too early. Picked it up when it came to him a little. Kick downfield, not great. Barlow apologises.
There's enough pressure on him to pull the kick. That's what both teams are doing pretty well. Their chase and tackle has been good.
Schofield goes for the distance here. Fife. Dean Cox a hold on the arm, so at the moment the umpire's dominating this game. Cox has got it at half-back. Even he can't see anything really obvious at the moment. Just chisels one out wide and nurses the ball to Beau Waters. Very stop-start game, this one. Now he's looking for McKenzie, but he realised if he kicked to McKenzie, the ball would have spent too long in the air, allowing Mayne to get there. So he goes the short one to Schofield. Penetrating run, centre half-back. Beautiful kick by Schofield, finds Lynch. Lynch will turn around, although Barlow did well on the mark. Forced him to kick it wide and down the throat of Hill, who marks nicely in front of Ebert.
That was well done. Lecrae had a good block from Kennedy at the top of the goal square and was on the charge to get on the end of that ball. But Hill, again, for the 3rd time, back into the space and took a contested mark.
Left footer Hill ran onto his wrong right side. High ball for McPhee. Over the top. Tries to apply the tackle on Lecrae. Smith's in there as well for the Eagles. Taken away. Ibbotson just wanted the boundary. Couldn't find it in the end. And a boundary throw in.
McPhee's done that well all day. Just getting into the contest, creating the contest. Looked likely to take a grab. Hasn't been able to do that, but at least he's creating the contest and the ball coming forward every time.
A lot of players around the ball here at the moment in this stoppage. Touch played on, said the umpire. Here's Prudis. He's one that's got to find some space. Just got it away. Now Shuey in traffic. Rosa sees something he likes. They can get out here at the Eagles. McKenzie can run and go. He's got Smith in the middle. He needs to lower the eyes, and he didn't. Smith still there, standing by himself. And eventually the opportunity created wide to Scott Selwood. To kick it backwards now to McKenzie. Glass backs up and it comes out in his direction. Not a great game from a spectator point of view here at the ground, because you're seeing a real tight control from both sides on the footy. There's Smith, couple of bounces. Johnson now forces him to kick long and deep. Kennedy got the run at it. Really good opportunity to mark, couldn't quite hold it. Lovely kick back in favour of Lecrae. And he's got this in a really nice position. Yeah,
well worked. We heard the Fremantle Dockers supporters booing every time the West Coast Eagles went from one side to the other. But when they saw space open up, they went quickly down the flank. And in the end, it was a scrappy, well-placed kick from Ebert into Lecrae and to generate the shot at goal. So good work, good patience from the Eagles.
Lecrae just adjusting the jocks. Have a look at it. Pretty easy kick by his standards. He's only got a kick at 25 metres and a really small angle. Comes in, he nails it. So the Eagles get one back and they're back in front by a point.
Well, Lynch, I think it's going to come down to who can handle the pressure through the middle of the ground. It's so tight between each wing. And we see there West Coast able to get the ball in, and a clever kick by Ebert. Forward momentum. LeCras playing in front was able to take an easy chest mark in the end and read it off the boot quite nicely. Goes back. And it's not an important goal for the Eagles because Fremantle certainly were controlling the early part of this quarter.
Hard work in this one, trying to find your way to goal. LeCras has succeeded, kicking his first of the day. West Coast by a point. Cox just went high and jumped straight into Clark. And again, we'll ball this one up.
Well, it's one goal each in the third term, but already there's been a reasonable discrepancy in the possessions. It's 33-16 in favour of the West Coast Eagles, the disposal count in this term. So they've certainly got their hand on the ball in the early stages of the second half.
Cox again, Barlow elected to soccer off the ground when he couldn't control it. And he realises that he's given it straight to Pritis here. Here's Smith. Gathers and just goes high to a 2-on-1. West Coast favour. Good mark, LeCras. Can he move it? Looks to now. Goes to the lead of Kennedy. A little bit of time in the air. Good mark, Kennedy. There's Silvani trying to get underneath him.
Gee, that was a great reach, wasn't it? It wasn't a perfect kick from LeCras. He went to put it out in front of Kennedy, but just elevated the ball. Had this rushed clearance from Barlow, just didn't go in the right direction. He was disappointed with it, but certainly punished at the other end. And LeCras has set up a goal, shot at by Kennedy.
Well, LeCras was the one who put the pressure on in the middle of the ground then on Barlow. Because of the turnover, was able to push forward without a man.
Kennedy lines up here to become the only multiple goal kicker in this game. Can't make it work to the left.
He's pulled another one, as he did from similar sort of distance in the first term. And as you said, Jono, he's just altered that kicking action, just shortened the run up a little bit.
Here goes Fife. Look at him setting himself from behind. Fife elevates, got both hands on it, couldn't hold the mark. Off hands, Shuey got a high tackle. That wasn't seen. Fife goes in, applies the tackle, and Nate the Knife Fife has read him during the week with interest that he's got his road train licence, Jono.
He has. I read the same article. BT, interesting, likes to go home and get on the long road.
Well, in the long truck.
On the long truck, on the long road.
You know what a road train is, city boy?
I do know what a road train is, country boy, Mandra boy.
There's Barlow. Easily been the best of his 3 games since returning. Michael Barlow. Lovely kick to Main, who's strong overhead as well. Kept it alive in front. Ballantyne wanted it. Pavlich now sees something out wide. Beautiful kick by Pavlich, allowing Ibbotson to run. Takes the mark. Little chiseling out of McPhee. And he's got a shot within 30 metres, McPhee.
Yeah, nicely done. McPhee, once again, he can be a leading player. He had the chance earlier in the game to kick an opportunity after some good work to get the ball to him. Now he needs to slot this one just to answer the pressure that the West Coast Eagles have applied.
Playing in his 199th game today, Adam McPhee. It's a bit of an easy look here. The wind has dropped. The flags are in a benign state at the moment. As McPhee comes in. Kick on the way. Bending a little left to right. I think he's got it through. He has. They're back in front, the Dockers.
Well, how good is the change of direction kick? And that's what Matthew Pavlich was able to produce on this occasion going forward. And we'll hopefully see it here. We will now. Matthew Pavlich, great vision, 50 metres away. On the other side of the ground was Ibbotson running into space, and some smart use of the ball to McPhee, who worked back behind McKenzie, then was able to come back at the footy and finish with that one.
So Fremantle back in front here by 4 points, and all of a sudden a lift in the crowd. Let's go down to Glenn Jakovic.
Thanks, BT. Jonathan Griffin has been substitute out of the game. Paul Duffield into the game, boys.
Griffin out. Bit of a surprise. Thought he was going okay. Around the corner, Shuey now. Kennedy collides Robertson with a bit of an ungainly sort of running style. Off to Ibbotson. Avoids the tackle. Here's Barlow. Thought about the handball. Left foot kick around the corners. A little sloppy. Gives Hearn a snifter. Got it off to Shuey. Gets a good look at it. Sends it long. Darling, good body position. Mzungu. Defensively nice.
Very good.
Very nice.
Mzungu, he's had a good job on Embley for a major part of the game, and that to go back, pick up Darling, and a great spoil. He's executed a few very good defensive spoils today.
Really well done. Very clean indeed. Mzungu, who has played his 8th game for the year here today, an 8th career game. Got his opportunity when Fremantle had lots of injuries at the start of the year. And a free kick will go the way of West Coast here, and Rosa. Normally a pretty good user is Rosa. No leads coming deep, gives it to the kicker. Lynch lets a long 65-metre kick go. Over the back comes to Kennedy. Missed.
Four goals 10 to 5-6. West Coast Eagles, you just think this may hurt them late in the game.
Almost like Mark Harvey's playing the game down there in the interchange area. He gets right in the corner of the yellow box down there. I don't know whether we get an opportunity to get a look at that as Duffield, the activated sub, comes on the ground. But
well, this won't go far away from him if they go long up the line, which they usually do.
you'll just see an opportunity here as the ball goes to the pack situation off hands. Went through the feet of Clark. Tried to keep it alive. Lower did. He succeeded in the end. Rosa was there. Duffield as well. And we'll have a ball up.
I think Mark Harvey's such a competitor on the boundary line. With that ball only being 5 metres away, you just think he'd be tempted. He'd be tempted to just go in for a spoil.
They don't need that other interchange man there. That can all be orchestrated by Mark. Doing a wonderful job as the interchange steward for his team at the moment is Mark Harvey. Ball dragged over the yellow line that represents the interchange area there.
Well, can he go over that yellow line, or is the white line that he's restricted?
Oh, I think it's the white line that he'd be restricted to.
He's pushing the boundaries.
Here's Ebert to the running Lacroix. Sneaking up on the outside is Nikoski. That was off the side of the boot. He was going for home, make no mistake. Nikoski to danger here. McFarlane keeps Kennedy honest. Or is it Darling? It's the latter. Darling did well. Picked up Nikoski. Kick around the corner, out of bounds. Mark Nikoski. And there is the activity at the bench. You can see Mark Harvey going right into the corner of that yellow box. Almost gone back to junior coaching days. Nat Nui took it out of the ruck, couldn't get a clean kick away, has another go. Got the handball off. Nikoski reaching to get boot to ball, just didn't quite succeed, and Duffield did well.
Yeah, under siege they are. Nat Nui, just in those stoppages, you know he's going to try to take possession out of the ruck contest. It's so dangerous.
Fremantle by a point. Just past the 41,000 mark here at this stadium today. 41,005 people in. Fife in the air, off hands Grover. Quick handball, caught from behind in the end. He did handball it away, so the umpire gave the benefit of the doubt there. Shuey kept the arms free, intelligently gave it off here to Gaff. Gaff goes long and deep. McFarlane and Nikoski go at it. At the back, picked up Lacroix. Swooping attempt around the corner, Lacroix. Another miss.
You can't kick this many points and not pay the price.
That's right.
It's 4 goals 12 now, and
it's the way it goes, isn't it?
It is, but what Fremantle have to do is get the ball to the other end and kick a goal, and that'll really sap the energy of the West Coast Eagles. Easier said than done at the moment. They're struggling to get it out of their defensive half.
Is it Johnson who becomes the second ruckman now for Fremantle? Clark's going to have to do a fair bit of the work with Griffin now substituted out.
Well, that's the thing. Nat Nui and Cox are going to work Clark over.
Are you saying that sub was a little early, Jono?
I just think with the two, unless there's something wrong.
There's no injury, Glenn, to Griffin, is there?
Well, he was in the hands of the trainers before, but look, he just got up, put on his red vest and sat down, and they haven't really bothered him since then. So no ice and no medical aid or attention to him.
Well, I think his clearance and setup certainly made the goal very easy for Fremantle at the start of this term.
Clark dropping the mark. Gaff was really aggressively tackled.
And Clark's a bit wobbly now, just caught one a little high after that marking contest.
He's launching himself really well, Zach Clark. He just has to finish. As he grows as a player, he's got to take those marks, boys.
Just seen the ice pack on Griffin's groin area.
Yeah. Here is Ballantyne, bursts out of the stoppage, gets plenty of purchase on the ball over the head of Fife. Johnson there. Fife keeps his feet at the back. Hearn did really well. And knocked over the line by a desperate Johnson there.
But as we know, John, just to explain to the viewers at home, if you're subbed out of the game, there's plenty of things you're going to ice up, so that mightn't necessarily mean that it's an injury from today. It's just the stock standard recovery that he's going through.
Although the groin's a little unusual to ice.
It's not something you do quickly.
Probably if I had my choice, I would elect. And there's a 50 against Nat Nui again, I think it was, for refusing to give the ball back directly.
Selwood threw the ball back to Nat Nui thinking it was his free kick.
Ah, right.
Wasn't his free kick. 50 result.
Listen. Okay, he's trying to explain. Zach Clark comes in. That's a big 50.
So plenty of discussions going on with the umpire, Darren Glass, and Jono, if we can see there, the free kick from the ruck stoppage against Nat Nui for holding the left arm. Selwood has the ball and still has the ball, which is fair enough, but throws the wrong person's throwing it straight to his teammate, Nick Nat Nui. Didn't realise it was Zach Clark's free kick, thus the 50-metre penalty.
There is Griffin with the ice on the groin, and all of a sudden Fremantle have kicked 3 goals to 1 in this third quarter. They lead it by 6 points. Clark has 2 goals.
And that might have been that goal we were talking about, Jono. Just gone from one end to the other and got the goal.
Big job. A lot of footy left for Clark in the ruck. Picked up by Nikoski, avoids the tackler. Around on the left, good kick to the advantage of Kennedy. Should mark, and he does. Strong mark, Kennedy. Needs to convert, though. Bit of a difficult angle about this.
Yeah, you're right, BT. Needs to go back and slot this one. Perfect response.
Not easy, these. You've got to drop it really cleanly onto the boot.
I tell you what, if he misses this, they can't win. It'll be just sapping for him.
He's gone for the short run-up. Look at the little steps he takes. Kennedy comes in and he kicks the goal. The Eagles really needed that. Back to all level. He's got a couple.
It's interesting change in run-up at this stage of the year. Watched him a few times this year, and yeah, he might do the stutter, whatever, but it's his last few steps where he's actually had good momentum going through the football. Just seems to be leaning back on things a little bit now, maybe because he is a bit closer into goal, but there's no momentum with that last couple of steps. And we all know, Lynchy, it's the plant step which is the most important one to get you through the footy.
So Kennedy kicks his second goal, and the Eagles edging their way back in here now. Hill to Crowley, it was indeed. Pavlich out of the middle, beautiful ball to Barlow. He kept it in front for the little man here. Here he is, Ballantyne couldn't get it, and so it says, pop that. Stand up, says umpire Dean Margetts.
Good bit of feedback there. He can go to ground a little easy. And Ballantyne here.
Oh, he's gone far too easy. In fact,
that's near yellow
give a free
stuff.
kick against for that, I reckon. Because you never quite know when he's fair income. Little short kick, McFarlane did well. Gee, put his head over that and won a nice hard one. Shuey into ball clash here. Shuey now gets control of the ball and gains 30 for his side.
On the back of Ballantyne receiving a free kick off the ball earlier by going to ground, and that one, you'd imagine the next high contact he gets or next hit he gets, he's not going to get a free kick.
See Jason McCartney there, the runner for Mark Harvey. Shuey picks up the ball and puts it down the throat of Lynch. Lynch is just forward of the wing there. Kicks to 50. Here comes Nat Nui and Grover. And defensively, Grover getting the job done. Just under 5 remaining in the third quarter. Scores locked at 42 each.
Good spoil from Grover. He's one of their really experienced defenders now, and handy. Gives away a lot of height at times, but that was a very good contest.
Broughton and Shuey, the leading possession getters for their respective sides here at the moment. Prudis, Pavlich had a bit of influence in this game. Mazungu with a lovely handball out wide. Here goes the fast-moving, long-striding Hill. A lovely ball to Barlow. Barlow and Waters go. He protects the drop zone, recovered it well, got it to McPhee. McPhee can get it around the corner. Here comes Main. Main marks on the edge of the screen. No, he doesn't. Glass did really well not to infringe. And West Coast defensively just get it over the line.
They did extremely well not to concede a goal on that occasion. Now the quick transition, they're away again.
Embley to Cox. Oh boy. Now Ballantyne tidying it up. He says Shepherd for me, De Boer man. Got it off to McFarlane. Pavlich on his left side wasn't great. Crowley's got to need a good bounce. Gets it back to Pavlich. Little kick. Ibbotson saw out the corner of his eye. McFarlane needs to be clean here. They're closing in on him. Got the handball away in the nick of time to Pavlich. What do I do? He said, I don't know. I'll go backwards to you.
Pressure.
And they're going to turn it over here, or are they? Mark paid Pavlich.
They're going to switch here, boy, if they can get it over them, but they're pretty spent, you would think, after that passage of play.
Yeah, Pavlich just saying, let's just control at the moment because I'm worn out. Grover sees Ballantyne been standing there for 5 minutes. Here he goes, Ballantyne. This is a penetrating one-bounce run. Thinks about taking them on. Kick goes wide. Misfire from the lead.
Disappointed with that. Had open space, clear kick.
Yeah,
They're the ones you need to be effective with, Lynchy.
Yeah, even the option wide. He had players in the corridor pushing into space.
Cox down there, lower, trying to get a piece of it. Adam Selwood went in, trying to come out with the ball with Fife. Mazungu. It's almost a double-handed sort of throw. Fife around the corner. Main coming.
Oh!
He's up to
it. Straight up.
Well done.
How good was that?
How good was that from Bo Waters? Boy!
Did you expect anything less, boys?
He could have been dead.
I think he is.
Unbelievable. Selwood now. Will they be inspired by that, the Eagles? A double running bounce by Scott Selwood. Gives it to the runner. Here comes an opportunity for Schofield. A belting ball inside 50, misses. Boy, that would have been a big-time dagger to the heart of the Dockers.
That would have lifted the roof off the place as Bo Walkins goes back. And we've all been in this situation, and that is a scary position. And he's hit high, got the free kick. But that goal would have just sunk Fremantle.
21 players, even the ones up the bench would have run to Waters. So well done.
Bit of hesitation then, and the kick back into play has been gobbled up by Darling.
That was a terrible kick.
Gee.
Just missed the target by 10 metres.
And it was off 2 steps, boys. You just got to show that composure going through. The game's right in the balance here. Garrick Ibbotson, that was a poor decision.
Jack Darling will get a very comfortable mid-range kick here. Scores level. 2:14 remaining in the quarter. Courage by Bo Waters then. Impressive. Darling. A big kick in the context of this low-scoring game. Very close to the man on the mark. He's put it out right. Will it bend back enough? No. Goal umpire, dressed beautifully in the red Under Armour gear, says just the one behind. And that kicks out of bounds as well.
Just at the moment, you just wonder how either team's going to win this.
Look at that pitch, and the umpire almost walked over the top of it. It's enjoying to see Grover working back as well.
Turnovers all over the place at the moment.
Grover has been told by the runners, Jason McCartney out there telling the players there's only a minute or so remaining. Here comes Cox again. He'll give them another look. Hearn. Johnson taps. Well done out the back door. Here's the man of the moment, Bo Waters. Ball over the line out of bounds. Throw it in. Minute 20.
9 scoring shots this quarter. West Coast Eagles. 2 goals, 7.
Boys, Jack Darling being substituted out of the game for Patrick McGinley. Sorry to interrupt, but it's just happened, that change, boys.
Jack Darling. That's got to be a big picture decision, surely. It can't be about this. Kick goes into Clark. Strong lead at the ball. Nice kick by Cox.
Darling was subbed out last week as well. He had a quiet game with only the 5 disposals, but he was subbed out last week. He's certainly been looking dangerous. I mean, wasn't far away from kicking a goal just a minute ago.
Pigeon in the background of Leclerc there has not moved off that spot no matter how close the ball has come.
They're just Bo Waters-like here, these pigeons.
Courageous.
They're just very courageous.
Here's Leclerc to give the Eagles a 7-point lead. Almost at three-quarter time. Leclerc knows it's got to be inside right post. And there it is. It is. He kicks the goal. The Eagles by 7 at a crucial time.
Just enormous pressure the Freo defence have been under in their midfield, and just at some stage it's got to take its toll. Freo have been able to hang on, but they're just turnovers here. Gave a couple of free kicks away, and critical turnovers from deep defence has just set up the West Coast Eagles for their 10th shot at goal for the term. And eventually you're going to make some conversions, and the 3-7. Not a good return, but the timing has been good.
Leclerc kicks his second goal of the quarter.
And BT, sorry, Chris Mayne's just gone straight down to the rooms, but he's got a pretty bad limp at the minute. And Bo Waters has been in the hands of the trainers, boys, so there's a few injury concerns for both sides.
7-point lead here at the moment for the West Coast Eagles. Barlow gets the clearance out of the middle for Broughton. They come from every side of him. Kick wide to Hill. Gets hold of this. Now there's 15 seconds. Fremantle are the only ones that can score in the remainder of this quarter. Nice mark taken by Schofield using the body on Fife. Schofield over the top with the short one. So West Coast are happy just to kick the last 2 goals of the quarter. They kick 3 goals each in this quarter, the teams. And at three-quarter time, the West Coast by just over a goal. 7 points. Absolute ripping game of footy to finish off round 18. And there is Chris Mayne going down into the runes with a slight limp, as you can see. He'll be back, I'm sure. Mark Harvey and Bond contemplate what's ahead. Barlow needs plenty in the last quarter. West Coast leads 6-14-50. Fremantle 6-7-43.